Come on!
Once again, it's on. Hey, my name is Lorenzo Ice-T Thomas of the Sports Brothers, and it's now time to talk some Miami Dolphins football. Well, it has been a great offseason for the Miami Dolphins after wrapping up free agency signings and finishing up the NFL draft. The Dolphins will begin reshaping this roster by making cuts and, of course, freeing up some salary. Well, the first domino has fallen, and the Miami Dolphins have moved on from safety and team captain Bobby McCain. And let me tell you, Bobby McCain is definitely a fan favorite. He did everything the team asked him to do. He was a former cornerback and converted to safety, and he did a good job. And fans will remember, especially this past season, whenever Bobby got nicked up, it seemed as if there was always a big play that happened on the field when he went to the sideline. We definitely remember that Kansas City game when he got hurt, went to the sideline, and Tyreek Hill went over the top for about a 40-yard touchdown pass from Patrick Mahomes. So we remember that, and Bobby, you definitely will be missed. Now, Eric Rowe and Brandon Jones are experienced in the system, and Jones has spent a lot of time down in the box. And you can see that slowly but surely Flo is putting his fingerprints all over this team. And the bottom line is getting better and getting younger, and you can find cheaper players that way, and I think that's a good move. But the thing that's really interesting about what has happened is Bobby McCain was being released, and Dolphins are going to save between $5.6 million and $6.4 million. There's about less than $2 million of dead cap. But then they quickly, this is just in, they signed Jason McCourty. Yes, that's right. Former Patriots cornerback Jason McCourty has signed with the Miami Dolphins. And of course, we're pretty loaded in the secondary, but I guess Flo would always say you can never have enough cornerbacks. So with Xavier Howard, Byron Jones, and the rest of the crew, Jason McCourty now will be joining the Miami Dolphins, and that is really big. And we need corners. And then we just, of course, drafted Javon Holland from Oregon at safety. So that might be about it that we do in the secondary. Malik Hooker was in earlier this week, but I guess that didn't work out. They decided to move on to Jason McCourty, and he now is going to basically he's probably for a cheap price, and he's going to add depth to the Miami Dolphins secondary. Now, as the evolution of this roster continues, this organization frees up, salary cap, and we'll see more high character players added to this team as we get ready to go into the summer. Now, we're at our post-draft hangover, and what's next? Well, there's quite a bit of great news for the Miami Dolphins. If you've been watching TV and listening to the analysts, all you've heard is great grades for the Miami Dolphins. A+ here, A+ there. And of course, I like Chris Sims from Pro Football Talk, and he had some high praise for our Miami Dolphins. Let's take a look. Now, you don't have to give them a grade, who did well, who did poorly, but, you have to let me know exactly which team did well in this NFL draft.
Well, listen, this one's so good, I'll give it a grade. It's an A+. I don't care. I know we don't know yet, but at base level, and I've been around football a long time, the team that won the draft, if you make me pick one team, I'm going with the Miami Dolphins. And I know you're right. We'll see how it plays out. We got to see how the season goes. But the Miami Dolphins continue to, show the NFL or give a lesson in team building. I mean, that's really where I just come away with it. I mean, first off with the first pick with Waddle, you got the two big receivers on the outside and Gesicki at tight end. Now you got this guy with all these rockets up his butt flying around the field. Are you kidding me? Then you get the pass rusher Jalen Phillips. It's the only thing they need on defense is maybe just a difference-making edge pass rusher. Oh, wait, they got the guy that's went to college in their city, so I'm sure they know really a ton about him, and so they get him. Javon Holland, the safety there. Just another – I think the thing that I like about it is they're kind of like a lot of their guys, even though we don't know how good they're going to be, I can sit here and tell you they're not going to be bad. They're going to be contributing to their football team. Holland was a really good safety, one of the best in the draft. You get Liam Eichenberg, an NFL-ready right now left tackle from Notre Dame who can play guard and has played guard. So now they got him, contributor, high-end backup right off the bat. And then Hunter Long. Hunter Long is a big blocking, tight end who has a little value in the pass game. So to me, the way they thought out the draft, the picks they made, a little bit of aggressiveness and, hey, we'll take a chance on a Jalen Phillips. We think the risk is worth the reward there and all of that. I was just blown away by the Dolphins draft.
Well, I would have to agree with you as far as the Dolphins having a great draft. On draft day, Chris Greer and Brian Flores did their thing. But we also have to look at this offseason overall. I mean, they did a great job of and you know what? In fact, I just wanted a little bit more from them. When you consider all the draft capital they obtained during this season, from San Francisco, they got 2 number ones in the third rounder from them. And all they have left is a number one in 2023 now, after trading with the 49ers of Philadelphia. And ultimately, when you compare a scenario where they could have stayed at number 3, they could have walked away with a Kyle Pitts and possibly a Najee Harris at 18. But overall, based at number 6 and what they did on draft day, Chris, I'd have to agree with you and give them an A+. As you can see, I loved exactly what Chris Sims had to say about our Miami Dolphins. And I got suited and booted. I went around. I talked to the analysts because I wanted the analysts to know the fans' perspective. We want some players. We want playmakers. We want players that we can put on our fantasy football team. That's the truth. That's what we want. And I'm not going to tell you right now, as I got the whole team together, who I wanted on my squad and who won the draft. But right now, we're going to start with Dan Graziano. You tell me who won the draft, Dan.
I'm going to go off the board. The first team that jumped to mind was the Miami Dolphins. I mean, they take Jalen Waddle early in the first. They get the pass rusher in Jalen Phillips. Later on in the second, they take Eichenberg, the tackle from Notre Dame. They're talking about trying to put Tua Tagovailoa in the best possible position to succeed starting this year. I think they did give him a lot of help, and I think the Dolphins are a team that we might forget about. They won 10 games last year, just missed the playoffs. It's a team that's a legitimate threat, I think, as early as this season.
That sounds good. Now, Dan Orlovsky, you let me know who won the draft.
Here we go, Brownies. Here we go. That's all I heard at the draft, Greeny. I thought the Browns had a remarkable draft. First of all, they made 2 weaknesses into strengths. The selection of Greg Newsome, the corner out of Northwestern, awesome. Then in the second round, they got Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, who a lot of people I heard talking about as a first round. That is a massive hit right there, by the way. And then the third round, getting Anthony Schwartz, the speedster out of Auburn, excuse me. So the weaknesses were the defense and long speed, and they addressed them both. I think Browns fans should be joyed today, the same way I was overjoyed when Big Will Costello got our game-winning hit at Westport Little League Saturday night. The Browns had an awesome draft.
Dan, that's a great take, and I definitely have to agree with you. If Jeremiah had been there at 15 in the draft, none of us would be sitting here right now complaining about him being taken there. But as much as I hate to admit it, Mel, you are the expert. But I have to say, the Browns, they did have an outstanding draft. Do you agree?
Yeah, not as good as some of the other teams, though. I won't go with the Browns being the top draft, Greeny. I disagree with that. I would go Miami. I'm with Dan Graziano on that. I'm all about Miami. I'm all about the Dolphins. I think they are right where they need to be. They lined it up perfectly. They got help on both sides of the ball. And I'll give you a couple guys that Dan didn't mention. Larnell Coleman out of UMass is a mountain of a man. He can flat out play. A lot of starts, right tackle, left tackle. He will help Liam Eichenberg, help that line. And then you think about Hunter Long. They love 2 tight ends, right? Love them in New England. Now you got Mike Gesicki and Hunter Long, who not only block, but can stretch that deep middle vertically. I think they help Tua. They help the defense. Great job, Miami.
Well, Mel, some Miami Dolphin fans may disagree with you because they want playmakers. They want ballers. They want players that they can use on Madden and use on their fantasy football team. But as far as I'm concerned, the team that had the best draft in the NFL is the Miami Dolphins. So I definitely agree with you about that. Hey, at the beginning of the offseason, the mission was to find weapons for Tua, right? Well, they picked Jalen Waddle, number 6. He's fast. He can take it to the house. He can go 0 to 100 real quick. And of course, he's a punt returner. He's versatile, exactly what Miami needs. And then at 18, Jalen Phillips from the U. He is relentless. A motor is nonstop. And of course, he reminds Miami Dolphin fans of Jason Taylor. And he was the number 1 edge rusher on the Dolphins board and on my board. Then at number 36, they turned that pick quicker than Waddle can run the 40. Woo! We got Jalen Holland from Oregon. He is the Swiss Army knife. He is the 2021 Mika Fitzpatrick. That's right. Brian Flores knows exactly what he wants to do with him. He's going to move him all over the defense. He's going to be down in the box. He's going to be covering the tight end, the slot. He's going to be all over the place. And at number 4, the Miami Dolphins moved up to take tackle. We're talking about Liam Eichenberg out of Notre Dame. This boy, they moved up to get him. He will be the starting right tackle for the Miami Dolphins when the season begins. So overall, I give this team an A overall. So look at the board right now. Straight up Dolphins. You can't beat that. Now Now, as you can see, oh my God, I was swamped this week debating with your analysts. But of course, it was an easy debate because all of us thought the Dolphins had the best draft this season. Well, once again, it's yours truly, Lorenzo Ice-T Thomas, and the breaking news that is Bobby McCain has been released from the Miami Dolphins, and his salary would have counted $7 million against the cap. So we save about $5.6 million. And I think you should understand why. It tells you exactly what Flores feels about the players that he has drafted. And, we're going to be bringing players in that are younger and cheaper. And drafting Javon Holland at safety at 36 speaks volumes. And Hooker was in earlier this week. And it tells you what Greer and Flores want to do. They'll do whatever they can to make this roster better. And of course, I predicted it earlier this week that because of McCain's salary, it might be a problem for him. And of course, they will continue to do whatever they can to make this team better. Well, thank you so much for checking out the show. Yours truly, Lorenzo Ice-T Thomas of the Sports Brothers. Make sure you check me out on the field as we cover the Miami Dolphins and, of course, the Miami Heat. Hey, if you're watching on YouTube, please click the like button and subscribe. Until next time, peace and be wise. I'm gone. See ya and go Fins.